My son, they come back from abroad. Haters go die.
She clapped excitedly. My only son. My pride. My billionaire. She looked directly at Ifeoma. You people should dress well tomorrow. My son isn't used to seeing poverty. The compound fell silent. Some tenants exchanged knowing looks. Others quietly laughed after she walked away. But deep inside, everyone was curious. Who exactly was this son Mrs. Bowes had worshipped for years? The next afternoon, a black luxury SUV slowly turned into the compound. Every tenant rushed outside. Children climbed the fence. Even Ifeoma stepped onto the veranda. Mrs. Bowes stood proudly at the gate in her finest lace outfit, smiling from ear to ear. The SUV engine went silent. The driver's door remained closed. Then, the back door slowly opened. The black SUV came to a complete stop. The compound fell so quiet that even the children stopped playing. Mrs. Bowes adjusted her gilet one last time and smiled proudly. There he is, my son from London. The driver got out first and walked to the back door. He opened it carefully. A polished black shoe touched the ground. Everyone leaned forward. Then another foot followed. Slowly, a tall young man stepped out. He wore a fitted designer suit, expensive sunglasses, and carried a luxury travel bag. The compound burst into applause. Mama Bowes wasn't lying. See, fresh guy. London really changed him. Mrs. Bowes's chest swelled with pride. You see, didn't I tell all of you? My son is not your mate? Her son smiled politely. Hello, everyone. His voice was soft and cheerful. He hugged his mother warmly. I've missed you so much, Mum. Mrs. Bowes wiped tears from her eyes. I've missed you too, my son. The neighbors smiled. For the first time in years, everyone genuinely felt happy for her. Then the young man turned to the driver. Oh, my pink suitcase, please. The driver nodded and brought out a bright pink designer suitcase. Some of the tenants looked at one another. Pink? One woman whispered, maybe it's for someone else. The son laughed. Oh no, that's mine. He opened the suitcase. Inside were colorful clothes, makeup kits, perfume bottles, and neatly packed accessories. Mrs. Bowes's smile faded slightly. Before anyone could react, her son removed his suit jacket. Underneath was a fashionable blouse with sparkling details. He reached into the suitcase. My heels. The driver handed him a pair of elegant high-heeled shoes. He slipped them on comfortably. Then he took out a small mirror, applied lip gloss, adjusted his neatly styled hair, and smiled. Perfect. The entire compound froze. One little boy whispered loudly, Mummy, is that really Mama Bowes's son? Nobody answered. An elderly tenant covered her mouth in surprise. Two young men tried not to laugh. Another woman looked away awkwardly. Mrs. Bowes stood motionless. It felt as though the whole world had suddenly gone silent. Her son walked confidently. Mom, don't I look fabulous? Mrs. Bowes forced a smile. Why, yes, but the whispers had already started. So this is the famous London son? Nah, this one Shide always boast about? I thought she said billionaire. Another tenant chuckled. So all the insults because of this? Within minutes, the same compound Mrs. Bowes had ruled with fear became a marketplace of gossip. People laughed. Some pointed fingers. Others mocked openly. Mrs. Bowes lowered her head. Every insult she had ever thrown at people suddenly echoed in her mind. If you're poor, leave my compound. My son is better than your children. You people can never reach my level. For the first time, she understood what it meant to become the subject of people's mockery. Her eyes filled with tears. She quietly sat on the veranda without saying a word. Her son noticed. Mum, what's wrong? She couldn't answer. She simply stared at the ground. The laughter around her grew louder. Then another voice rose above the noise. Enough. It was Ifeoma. She stepped into the middle of the compound. Her voice was calm, but firm. What exactly are you all laughing at? The laughter slowly stopped. She looked around at everyone. Some of you cried when Mama Bowes embarrassed you. You begged her for understanding. You prayed nobody would laugh at your own struggles. She paused. Now you're doing the same thing to her. Silence. She turned to Mrs. Bowes. Mama, the older woman slowly looked up. We don't all have to agree with how another adult dresses or lives, but nobody deserves to be mocked in public. The compound became completely silent. Even Mrs. Bose's son looked at Ifeoma with surprise. Ifeoma continued, I defended you before because I believed people deserved kindness, even when they didn't show it. She smiled gently, and I still believe that today. Mrs. Bose burst into tears. She stood up slowly and walked toward Ifeoma. My daughter. Her voice shook. I have heard so many people. I thought having a child abroad made me better than everyone. I measured people's value by money. She wiped her tears. But today, she looked around the compound. I've tasted the same shame I served others. She folded her hands. Please, forgive me. Nobody expected those words. Mama Ngozi, the widow she had once threatened to evict, stepped forward first. We forgive you. The student she had shouted at smiled. We forgive you too. One after another, the tenants accepted her apology. Her son watched quietly before speaking. Mum, success isn't about proving you're better than people. It's about treating people with dignity. Mrs. Bose nodded slowly. You are right. From that day, the compound changed. Mrs. Bose no longer shouted over small mistakes. When students were late with rent because school fees had delayed them, she gave them time. When children played football away, she smiled and warned them not to break windows. The neighbors were shocked. The woman everyone feared had become the woman everyone respected. Months later, as Ifeoma prepared to move into her own apartment after graduating and growing her business, Mrs. Bose helped carry her bags to the gate. Thank you, Mrs. Bose said softly, for changing me. Ifeoma smiled. I didn't change you, Mama. You simply chose kindness. The two women hugged. As the taxi drove away, the compound felt different. Not because the buildings had changed, but because one humbled heart had changed an entire community.
If you enjoyed this story,
Subscribe and like.
thank you.